Hey, everybody. Well, wouldn't you know, the Knicks reminded us they're still the Knicks in game 3 on Monday night. The Spurs climbed back into the NBA Finals, winning that one 115 to 111 at Madison Square Garden. And so we get ready to tip it off for game 4 Wednesday night at Madison Square Garden. I'm Bruce Marshall. We'll be talking about all that in just a second. First of all, a couple of quick housekeeping reminders. Like always, don't forget, click that subscribe button on your screen there. Make sure you get all of our WagerTalk TV videos. And don't forget, we got a couple of special offers going this week. Hey, the World Cup starts Thursday down in Mexico City. My World Cup All Access Pass, that gets you all of my World Cup picks all the way through the final on July 19th at the Meadowlands. Special price there, just $149. That offer lasts just until the World Cup kicks off on Thursday, so make sure you get it now. That's my World Cup All Access Pass, $149. Also, special offer this week on my picks, 3 nights for $69. We'll add 3 nights free to that. Get you 6 nights of picks, 6 days and nights of picks, just $69. So a great bargain there. Okay, let's talk about the Knicks and the Spurs. What happened in game 3 on Monday night? It looks like maybe that rally in the fourth quarter meant something in game 2. And the Spurs, with their backs up to the up against the wall and trailing at halftime in game 3, came out firing and stole one. And now they're 1 game away from getting home court advantage back. Not that that's meant that much in this series to this point. But the Knicks, man, you just knew with all those, they all came out for the Knicks. Not just Spike Lee, not just Ben Stiller, not just Walt Frazier. You had President Trump there. We had Michael Bloomberg there. We had John McEnroe there. We had Eli Manning there. All the Knicks fans were there, hoping to see something special and anticipating that maybe on Wednesday night they'd be able to wrap this thing up. And that'd be the first time since 1970 they would have wrapped up a championship at home in 73, the last time they won. That was at the Forum in Inglewood against the Lakers when they wrapped that series up. So anyway, that's not going to happen in game 4. Maybe in game 6 it'll happen, but it's not going to happen on a Wednesday night. What are the Spurs able to do here? And I thought they continued some of the things that they did in game 2 that bothered the Knicks somewhat. They were picking up full court, pressuring Jalen Brunson all the way, not just 3/4 court, full court, making the Knicks use a lot of the time clock just to get over the timeline, all 8 seconds just to get over the timeline for a lot of their possessions. And Brunson, even though he did score 32, I still don't know that he's having a great series here. He is turning the ball over more. He's had 13 turnovers in the first 3 games. That's twice as many as he was averaging in the first 3 series of the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. So the Spurs are doing a little bit to keep him off balance there. A big factor in the fourth quarter, of course, in game 3, was the fact that Knicks are missing threes. And some of those guys who really helped them out earlier in the series, Mikal Bridges and Landry Shamet and some others, they didn't really step up in game 3. And the 3-pointers, nobody was hitting threes in the fourth quarter. They didn't hit one until the last few seconds. So that was a negative. They've also got to get Cat re-engaged. He's getting a little bit bothered. This is what we've seen in the past from Cat when the whistles start going against him, and he has had a tendency to draw a lot of fouls or to commit fouls and get whistled a lot in his career, and sometimes it bothers him. And I think we saw that at the end of game 2 when Mike Brown had to pull him out late in the third quarter. He hasn't quite been the same since then. I think he's got to get back to where he was before. The biggest adjustment that I think the Knicks are going to have to make in game 4 is going to have to be on the defensive end. Now, we know Wemby is Wemby, and they're doing the best they can on him, and he can be great any game like he was in game 3. I think the extra day off of rest between games 2 and 3 may have helped him somewhat, so maybe he'll be just good and not great in game 4. But Stephon Castle is becoming a problem here for the Knicks, and they're going to have to do a better job on him and keep him from driving into the paint. My thought is that Mike Brown is going to make that adjustment in game 4 and stick OG Anunoby on Castle. And I think that's his, instead of keeping him on Devin Vassell, which is what the assignment for Anunoby has been most of the time he's been on the floor. I think you got to switch him over to Castle and keep him from penetrating into the paint, because that's given the Knicks some problems. And if they can solve that, I think they can get back and in control of the series in game 4. Nobody is still shooting that great in this series. It was a little bit better in game 3, with the Knicks 45%, the Spurs 46%. Nobody's shot close to 50% from the floor in any game yet in this series. That was the first over, though, in the series on Monday night. and I expect that trend to continue. These totals aren't that prohibitive. The playoffs were generally going over very strongly, almost to a 2-1 margin from the second round on. It was just the first two games of the finals landed under. The pattern, these games seemed to slow down in the fourth quarter, and it did again in game 3, but the pace had been so fast before then, they still ended up clearing, though it took until the last minute, and they got over the total in game 3. I think they get over in game 4. I think we'll see a more engaged Cat. I think we'll see Mike Brown make some adjustments on Stephon Castle. And I think the Knicks regenerate and win, and I think it goes over as well. So I'm going over, and Knicks again in game 4, and we will see what happens. Okay, as always, if you've got some comments for me, hit that comment box on the screen. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget, I've got World Cup videos up there now too. World Cup kicks off later this week down in Mexico City. So we'll be back with more later. Check out my videos for the World Cup as well here at WagerTalk. So until next time, it's a goodbye from me.